Okay, so I'm out here. I'm working on this job here, a little church camp way off in the middle of somewhere, and been using my detector, which I'm not real good at yet, but I suspected this was going to be a fairly good spot, and it's right. And I've been here maybe 35, 40 minutes and come up with that already. But I got one thing here that I was going to show you. We got about 3 inches of rain last night, so it softened up the ground. But I got to looking and digging through and came up with this guy. So don't know anything about it yet. I hadn't cleaned it up. But kind of a cool thing. I almost didn't dig it because it just sounded like a stinking pull tab, which I haven't found very many, maybe 6 or 8, 10 at the most, different kinds. But still learning about the detector, and that's kind of cool. My first ring with it, so I'm happy about that. We'll see if it turns out to be a good one or not. But it's a ring, so it's a good one, right? Okay, back in a bit. Okay, the sun has gone down behind the mountain over there, and it is turning into a real pretty sunset, which if I don't get on the road, I'm going to miss it. So I'm calling it good right now. There's the area where I was looking, just that little bit of an area there, and in, we're going to say it was an hour. I don't know if it was that long. I tend to lose track of time when I do this stuff. But here's what I found, and I about had a heart attack. I'll tell you why in a second. There's the trash I found right there. A couple of flat washers, little stuff like that, a little copper ferrule right there. A couple of old style pull tabs, 3 of those. 4 new style pull tabs, a screw. And then the good stuff, I found, I'm not going to count that one or that one because I didn't have to dig either one of them. Both of those I saw just sitting on top of the ground, and so I didn't even have to dig for them. So, but you know, I found them, but not with the detector, but still kind of fun. A nickel and a quarter there. I found 2 dimes, only 2 dimes. I should have been more than that. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pennies, and what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarters. So that's not bad for an hour. Didn't find any silver. I feel like there's silver here, but I have to learn my detector good enough. It makes a lot of weird noises, and I've seen stuff on videos about that detector doing that. And then of course that ring, and that's where I about had the heart attack. I pulled all this stuff out to show you what I found. The ring wasn't in my pocket, and I about came unhinged. Well, it turned out when I went over to the pickup over there, I took some stuff out of my pocket, just some Kleenexes and things like that that were in there, and that ring came out with them. So fortunately, it was laying in the front seat. I would have been losing my mind if I hadn't found it. So anyway, all's well that ends well, I guess. We'll clean it up, and I'll tell you more about it later, but it'll be quite a bit later because I got a 4-hour drive ahead of me. So here we go. Anyway, that was fun. Good time learning my detector. Don't know what I learned yet, but maybe something. It's all right. Okay, so back home now, and ran everything through some water. Just kind of gave it the rinse off real good, and nothing really much more to report. Nothing old. None of the pennies or Wheaties. The oldest penny I think was a 1962. Of course, the quarters are all pretty modern. I think the oldest one of those was an 89. The dimes, I didn't even look at the dates because, of course, there's that nickel that I found there. And, of course, that quarter on the bottom, that one was the one that was just laying on top of the ground. The ring is, sure enough, turns out to be nothing real special. It's just probably a, I don't know, like a cheap Avon or Sarah Coventry or something like that. Just some little cool, you know, pretty ring. But it's still a ring, and so I'm happy about that. Kind of pretty, actually, for what it is, but there's some corrosion on it, and even if it had any plating, I'd be surprised. I couldn't find any writing or marks on the inside of it, so you know, nothing to get excited about there, except that it's a ring. Oops. And I didn't lose it, and I still got it. So that's kind of a cool thing. But anyway, that's just a little wrap-up, follow-up. I cannot wait to get back down there because I literally only scratched the surface. And this isn't old like a Civil War site would be, something like that. But I looked a little bit of the history of it up, and they started using this place about 1944. So that gives, what, 20 years worth of, you know, potential for some silver to have been lost. I don't know if anybody else, I'd be shocked if somebody else hadn't been out there with a detector, but I've been lots of places that people have had detectors and still found really cool, good stuff. So You know, the prevalent thing is going to be the clad coins, the modern stuff, because of the kids losing things like that. The odds of finding rings and stuff like that is going to be really high, because of they do a lot of stuff out there at night after it's dark. You know, they have that area right there is where they all get together and eat and have food and set out like that and just kind of wind, excuse me, kind of wind out the day. So anyway, cool stuff, and I'll do another video next time if I find something good, or maybe even if I don't. All right, thanks.